للحسن فوق الجمال الأحمد الله يهو
حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل 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 حسبنا حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل
أهلا وسهلا وحياكم الله وكل عام وأنتم بخير. اليوم 19 من شهر 9 1447 هجري، والموافق يوم الاثنين، وهي توافق يوم 9 من شهر 3 ما شاء الله 2026 ما شاء الله. It is birthdays today all across the city, as it is the 19th of the 9th, 1447, and then it's the 9th of the 3rd, 2026. Okay, the 6, the 3, the 6, the 9. Just look at it, the 19, the 9, and the 7. Okay, the only symbols that doesn't lie is your numerological symbols, your numerals. Okay, it doesn't lie. Your English symbols, your Afrikaans symbols, any other symbols, it is not giving you the precise and accurate results, but numbers can never lie. When you follow a particular calendar, it is the numbers that has diluted you into the psychology that you and I are today manifesting a particular level of consciousness. That arithmetic is not necessarily a geometric solution. It could be a diversion of your natural matrix. Okay, we are the experts with Allah's Qudrat. We are the specialists of your conscious realms. Okay, your conscious realms is what you were originally supposed to have come to mature in this dimension of Earth, but due to toxic behavioral patterns and religious disciplines and economic enslavement, you had eloped from the natural order and then embraced a synthetic module of searching for your exit. Okay, the exit came in 2020, 1441, where your grandfathers, your grandmothers, your mothers, your fathers, your uncles, your aunts, who had claimed that they found God in their life, whether they were Christians or whether they were Muslims or whether they were Sunnis, whether they were Jesuits, and whether they were monks or whether they were Tamils or whether they were whatever denomination they had come from, they were given an equal opportunity to manifest their self right of self determination. Okay, that is when you are given the path to enter into the age of Qiyam. Okay, so because religion had given you a false God with false hopes, okay, it's left your children searching for a false God in the form of an idolic money system, okay, where most of you had educated them and given them the assurance that they would find the comfort and the clear sight of a conscious in that world, okay. That world was cursed in COVID, people, on on how particular padaksi, okay. That truth that you were searching and you were servicing since COVID, since 2020, that was derailed, that was debunked, that was defect, okay. Everything that you ever believed in pre-COVID does not exist post-COVID, people. That was the bankruptcy of the world when the bankrupt president of the world was given the task to try and bring this company back and reincorporate it into your lives. Okay? The only president in the world that was more than 10 times bankrupt was your Mr. Donald Trump. Okay, he understands how to bring a bankrupt corporation into life after it has and he suffered multiple losses. Okay, so he was given the task يعني in the first يعني since 2017, 2016 until 2020, and then finally from 2024, 2025 until 2029, to in order to get the back in front, yani twisted around again. Okay, that's why you have him as the 47th president, the 11th. You see, they simulate the yani opposite of the metaphysical. They yani do the illusional tricks on your minds. Okay, these are magicians, people. We are not here to target them. Let me tell you something, guys. Okay, whilst you are involved and in collision of a war, this war was already prepared for you when you fell into the hell in the Palestinian effort. Okay, all of these things you might not understand it today because you are still a child in maturity. Whether you are 80 or 90 years old, you don't understand who you are because you have no yani, legitimate text that gives you insight into what is happening in the internal realms. All of these things has to happen internally. What you are manifesting externally is it is the reference of where your level of perception is in the sea of conscious. Okay. Now, we as the soul tribes, we are the conscious tribes because we know exactly what is unfolding, people. We are not addicted to religion. We are not addicted to a God. We are not addicted to a certain external and foreign civilization or a foreign calendar. We know exactly where we are. There is no time. Okay, whereas where you are caught up in your physicality of a constructed and fixed reality, which is only a simulation. It is only a projection. It does not exist after now. Okay. Now, as you climb the ladder of whichever ladder, the Iblis layer of Shaitan's layer of Yaqub's layer, whichever ladder you guys are busy climbing here, yani, you have to find the light. That is why you came into this system, okay? This is a solar system that you are in. If there's no sun, there is no life here, okay? So the king of your planet is the sun, and that's why we call him the son of God. We call her the son of God, okay? You are a female inside out. Whether you are man or woman, you are a female inside out. Everything is inside. It's just when a man was created inside a feminine, she gave him prostrate. Okay, and I prostrate. Why? Because he cannot have ovaries. Right? Your mother planet is a feminine goddess here. Okay, you understand what I'm telling you. You have been invaded by religious fragmentation. Okay, from external forces to try and keep you in their specific reality, where you, as a soul, as a conscious, as a general, okay, you have no you have no link with an external world that is in external bounds, okay? Whilst you still understand the internal purpose why you came and awoken in this timeline of consciousness, okay? Now, today, you should have had your full rights of your identity, your divine identity. You must by now know God, Allah. It's strange if you still worshiping a God that you have no idea who he is and you still fear that he is going to hurt you and he's going to punish you whilst he's never done anything to you. You've done everything to yourself because you were misled by a false narrative of a false religion and a false God and a false house of God, people. That play, وَآيَةٌ لَهُمُ اللَّيْلُ نَسْلَخُ مِنْهُ النَّهَارَ فَإِذَا هُمْ مُظْلِمُونَ. Okay, the ayats are all compelling, right? In our rationale of our upgrade now is telling us, guys, there was only a certain limited over on that certain personification of a enjoying a reality, enjoying a experience, and once the heavens had decided to close off that chapter, that bab, that kitab, that suhuf, okay, and we had to by ourselves then elevate and now determine what was our true qiyam, our qiyam, yani our deenul qayyim. Okay, I am speaking to you as per the lyrics of the actual Quran. Okay, the real Quran, not what you guys are reading. You are reading mills and boons, yani, okay, or you are reading a yani, Superman kitab. Okay, there is no human yani, faculty that is present other than the conscious of the planet. Okay, in the present, not in the past. If you are living in the past, you are living in the graveyard, people. If you are still linked to a past civilization that a prophet or a messenger or a king or a president, if you are still entangled into that network, then you are living in the past. You are facing the backwards. Okay, you are living upside down, and yeah, upside down. Okay, you are reversed in your psychology, right? It's a pity that you have been not been given the opportunity to actually wake up from this yani, dreadful yani, horror movie that is now unfolding. Okay, what's the time now? Okay, let me just yani, look, everything it is but with the permission of Allah. We do not do predictions on this. We have knowledge, people. عندنا علم. We have knowledge, but it's not knowledge for commercial purposes. Okay, it's not knowledge in order to make me right and you wrong. That's not the purpose of this. This is knowledge so that we can remain in the light, not that we must combat another civilization and bring down someone else. In this yani, reality that we have activated, we don't fight people externally, people, because nobody's fighting us internally because we have held our borders. We know our space. We put up our wall. We had placed on our yani, picture frames. Okay, so we yani, manifest and we operate and we self-determine our reality because our words creates our truth, and that is how it brings us into our unlimited space. Okay, we do not command with the word of another nation, we command with a niyyah. The niyyah is what is unseen, people. Okay, the niyyah can work in the jannah as well as in the jahannam. Okay, in the jahannam it's your decision, in the jannah it is Allah's niyyah. Okay, because this is the what we call the irada, the masiha, the mashiha, yani the mashia. Okay, because of our frequency as a soul tribe, we elevate above the normal yani, intake of your yani, species. Okay, because you must understand what it is to be a believer. It's not what you choose, it's what the heavens, through the ancestral yani, appointments, gives you that elevation. You can't make yourself a mu'min. You can say you're a Muslim because Muslims had lived in the past where they had submitted to idols. Okay, where most of us yani, are believing in men that actually turn women into slaves. Okay, so you must understand by now the combat, the conflict that is happening now, it is only happening inside of you while you are distracted externally. You have failed as a yani, illuminated being, as a yani, and as a light worker, as a ruh, as a enhanced yani, electromagnetic conscious. Okay, who you are that. If you understand yourself, if your grandparents know who they are, okay, you have to fill your fuel in this dimension because there is not going to be another opportunity for this next generation to understand and build the bridge between you and your next generations. Okay, so the heavens ideally gives you the upgrade by making you, positioning you to understand what it is to reciprocate a new data stream, not for Muslims, people. for conscious human beings. Okay, you must come to terms by now that religion is tradition, people, and it is politically and economically viable for certain nations and to keep you in the deepest of miseries that they would worry one to hundred. Okay. God doesn't play movies, people. God creates the truth. But only if you know who you are would you be able to simultaneously co create the truth that you are inspired and intuited if you are able to do this. You are now coming to the last 10 days and now you are searching for your Laylatul Qadr. Allah doesn't have time. It's you that co create time and you claim that that is Allah's time. People, get out of your lost, wrecked ships. There is no Laylatul Qadr if you did not open up the door inside and you could not find the light. Okay? 6 years ago. You're not going to, in this game of consciousness, you can't lie to yourself. You can't say, you know what, I'm going to get a chance, or maybe there's going to come a gap, or maybe there's no opportunity here. You're given according to what you had put in. وَأَنْ لَيْسَ لِلْإِنسَانِ إِلَّا مَا سَعَى أَكَادُ أُخْفِيهَا لِتُجْزَى كُلُّ نَفْسٍ بِمَا تَسْعَى. It's all what you have put in for this moment, where you are now in alignment with the istifa, okay, istifa, with the straightening of the shakirat. Okay, in other words, you had grown from the lowest level of you wanting to know and be who you thought you are going to be after you saw the movies and you saw the glamour and you saw the economy and you saw the power of money. And that's a phase you have to go through that. But that should not hold you stagnant. You have to grow out of that, and then you come to the phase where you own nothing. Okay, where you are absolutely detached of that material and that tangible reality, and you go into the metaphysical reality of life, which is qiyam. Okay, where you are now, where your children are, where your grandchildren, great 7 generations that is now already aligned in this reality that Allah is bringing to life. Whilst you must understand, if you did, Allah cannot see you, people, because you are in the dark. Dead means your heart doesn't know where you are, and you still are occupied by the fear mongering of death. Okay, so that's where the war is happening, and that is how what will happen in this case, so that you can understand. This is a repeat of the Lemurian and the Atlantis civilizations. Okay, the world has to go into a deep recession, right? Okay, it has to go into detaching and cleansing itself of the fateful death crisis and the lie and the illusions and the religions and the gods that you could until today not verify where their position is and what is your allocated inheritance. Okay? At the end of the age, you must find your mirage. You and I went and made a reality in something which was busy breaking down now. All that wealth is going to decay, people. You have to expose, you have to, it's dead, man. It's no longer real. You are holding a debt of somebody in your hand, because if there was no debt, you would not be having the money today. Okay, guys? Someone else has made a debt and you are the reciprocant of that money laundering cycle. Okay? Now, if you want to come into Qiyam, you have to let go of that trillion, million, zillion that is being created out of debt. All is debt. You just don't want to know that the difference between you being freed is to live in the deen, and while you are still holding that capital, you are in dain. You are in deep waters, right? Understand what I'm telling you, people. You have very little understanding of yourself, okay? And hence you had to put yourself into a religious garment so that you could protect yourself of the shame, okay? The shame that you have is just against yourself. It's not against anybody else because it's in your mind. You are ashamed of your own actions. I'm ashamed of my own actions because Allah is not ashamed. Why are you ashamed? Because of your guilty, yani conscience that was created by your adversary, which you and I cannot uproot ourselves from. Okay? Guys, if your children are speaking what they are speaking and you can feel the vibration, you must realize that your game has been tilted. Okay? This is what we call the last 10 yani, overs of the game. Okay? And whilst we know that there is no Laylatul Qadr and that you cannot understand what is the meaning of Laylatul Qadr and that Allah doesn't give a Black Friday and Allah doesn't give a spot yani sale, okay, that concept, people, is for the dead. It's not for the living, okay. Yani conscious does not reside in a place where it is searching for something which is already has happened, okay. It's just because you are searching for something external, you are prevented from finding and activating it internal because everything only exists internally. Your control mechanisms is internal. Okay. Um, so because you had failed to understand the Quran, you had failed to understand the wisdom of life, you have failed to study and research the entire journey, you are sitting now and begging for mercy for something which you have no idea what you did because you were put in a deep spell. Okay? We and I and you cannot help, Yani. We cannot get external help here. We have to realize that this war that is happening now in the world, the third world war, it is here to extract you from that misery, okay? And it is here to bring you back to the nomad life that you once upon a time experienced. That's the anxiety that lives in your stomach. That is the need for you to always search for food because the hunger is not in your stomach, it's in your mind, guys. Everything, every sense is only active through your neurological yani, set mindset. Okay, it's not your stomach that feels, it's your mind that is being activated through a sense that because of habit you believe you are hungry, but when you get to the table you can only eat so much because your eyes became bigger than your mouth. That is how the illusion works. Okay. So, mashallah, tabarakallah, people, you have a generation and 7 generations that is coming in now that is going to really yani, insult your intelligence. Okay, not with any vicious or malicious reasoning, but all those who you made heroes and you made into leaders, they are going to be insulted by your children and your grandchildren because of the level of intelligence. Okay, they're coming in with the Ibrahimas intelligence of transformation and restoration. Okay, backing them with the yani, soul system, which was the eternal system where they had been always in the kingdom of the Jannah. Okay, mashallah, yani you and I had still been paying for Jannah in the past age, but since COVID, the operation systems has been flipped. Okay. Now in 1447, just to close off now, it is the end of the game, guys. Okay. If you had not unsubscribed and found yourself a new operational system and know where you are going, then this is going to be a vicious experience in this dimension. Okay, you had to move out into the fourth or even the fifth dimension rather than staying in the third dimension because that yani, bandwidth needs expansion at this moment in our lives. We are speaking to intelligence here. We are not speaking. We are speaking to to those who are alive, not those who are dead. Okay, there's a big difference here, guys. Okay, those who are alive, they will know, they will feel, they will understand, they will reciprocate. Without seeing me, they will know what we are speaking about. Yeah, Okay, mashallah, tabarakallah, the adhan is gone. May Allah Ta'ala accept your iftar and grant you and your parents a beautiful moment as you open up this new age of Noor ala Noor. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
يا مصطفى كل شيء لله يا نورا من نور الله يا مصطفى كل شيء